welcome everybody to tonight's event. We've got the National Auto Racing Club Bragging Rights Series. That's correct. You heard that right. The Bragging Rights Series. Pretty interesting. Basically, you're going to be driving just about every dirt car under the sun, and we're going to see who's the best for, essentially, hence the name, bragging rights. But we'll cover that much more as we get further on into the season, because we've got a long ways to go, as tonight we're kicking things off with the 410 sprint cars here at Volusia. My name is Thomas Brandon. This is the eSports Racing Network. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, as we've got a packed house in attendance for this event. Looks like we've got somewhere around 40 cars, so it should be a good one, as drivers are out on the track right now taking some hot laps, running it in, and we'll be ready here for qualifying in just a few moments. All right, and it looks like we are now underway for qualifying. Track is ran in. We are ready to go. So 2 laps here for qualifying. As we are going to ride with Jeremy Weigel here for his first attempt around Volusia here in the 410 sprint car. Weigel on the high line at 1 and 2. First lap of 12.68. That's second quick overall, 12.68. Let's see if Weigel can better it here on lap number 3. And it doesn't look like it. 12.68 is what he's going to end up with for his best time overall, as that's going to put him, it looks like, just inside the top 10, as we've got a few more people left here to go. So quick time right now, it looks like, is Shea Paulo with a 12.60. And now we've got Zach Janes. Janes is someone who can definitely lay down a fast lap. I've said this numerous times before, and it is not hyperbole. If I had to bet my life on somebody to lay down a fast lap, my number 1 pick would be Hayden Cardwell. Number 2 would be this guy right here in the number 7 car, Zach Janes. So first lap looks like a 12.68. Lap number 2, is he going to lay it quicker? And it looks like no. 12.68 is going to be his best lap time, and that'll put Janes 9th overall. So it looks like we've got everybody qualified here. Or not. Oh, we got one more left to go here, looks like. Or at least we got one more that we're waiting on. and it looks like we're not going to get it in. So, quick time overall will go to Shea Paulo. So, and we've got heat race number 1 here gritting up on the track. 8 laps in each heat race. Top 4 will go directly to the feature, and then we will have a couple of consolations to fill out the remainder of the field. All right. All right, so it's going to be Shea Paulo with Connor Dudek to his outside, followed by Zach James, Brody Brown, Tommy Kohick, Andy Patton, Eric Whitner, Christian McCartney, Mason Inman, and Derek Gray. Coming out of turn 4, and we are underway as Paulo jumps out to a quick lead with James falling in quickly down below. Dudek trying to grab that second spot as Dudek was able to power around, though, on the outside, holding off James' charge there on the low line. Paulo pulls away a little bit there from Dudek and James as they battle for that second position. Paulo running a slider line both ends of the track there. Seems to be working for him, but James and Dudek both seem to be closing on him just a little bit as they're getting closer. And we got a caution on the track here. Have to take a look here. Oh, it looks like we had a little contact there on the front stretch, which is what led to that caution. So, All right, as it looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Paulo leads him back down, and we are underway as he gets a good jump there over James in second, Dudek third, and Brody Brown in fourth. Brown in that fourth and final transfer spots. Got a little bit of breathing room there between him and Andy Patton, who would love to get up closer and make him run for that fourth and final transfer spot to get directly into the A main. Patton's got his hands full, though, as he's dealing with the 17 car of Eric Whitner. Whitner looking to the inside there, losing a little bit of momentum there as Derek Gray looks to make the move on the inside, and he does as he looks to get around Whitner there for that sixth place position. Back up front, though, it is all Shea Paulo as he has opened up about a 6-car lead over Zach James. And it does not look like James is going to get him as Paulo comes out of turn 4 and takes the checkered flag, bringing home the win for heat race number 1, which should also get him the pole for the feature. So heat race number 2 is gridding up, and we will be right back in just 1 second. All right, as we got heat race number 2 here on the track. As we got Tanner Miller on the pole with Justin Sherman to the outside of him, followed by Jake Sonatak and Brett Hagan. Then we've got Bruce Klingen and Jeremy Prey with Josh Borowski, Jeff Sharp, and riding shotgun in the 9th position is Michael Cooper. And we are underway. As Miller has jumped out to a quick lead over Justin Sherman, followed by Jake Sonatak and Brent Hagan in that 4th and final transfer spot, with Bruce Klingen closing in fast. Everybody's seeing to run in that top side right now as we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place literally lined up like a freight train on the cushion. Klingen looks at the inside, slides up, trying to close in on the backside of Hagan. Get that 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2, but Hagan looks strong, gets a good run off the corners. Klingen seems to come in there on the entry, but Hagan pulls away there on the exit. Up front, it is all Tanner Miller as he has opened up a half a second lead over Justin Sherman, followed by Jake Sonatak in that 3rd place position, and then Brent Hagan in that 4th and final transfer slot. Klingen looking to gain some ground on Hagan, but not able to, and he better watch out because Jeremy Prey in the 117 car is now making a move for that 5th place position as he looks to the inside, of Klingen here going into turn 1. Slides up. Ooh, comes really, really close. A nice save there by Klingen in the 21 car. Just able to avoid catastrophe there as Tanner Miller up front gets the win, followed by Justin Sherman, Jake's on the tag, and Brent Hagan in that 4th and final transfer spot. All right, heat race number 3 here on the track, as we've got Joe Howe on the front row, and outside of him is Jared Culbertson. Then in row number 2, we've got Randy Shreves, and outside of Shreves in the 4th position is Blake Andrews. Starting on the inside of row number 3 is Greg Keppel, and outside of Keppel is Ernie Williams Jr. Starting in the 7th position is Robert Kitchen, and outside of Kitchen is Ken Borey. Starting in the number 9 spot, we've got Todd LeBoob in the 94 car. So 8 laps, top 4 go straight to the feature. Yeah, you guys, I am broadcasting all alone tonight. I am feeling a little bit better. I'm still under the weather though. I was actually pretty surprised at how bad this COVID bug kicked my butt. Yeah, it was the last few days were rough. They were really rough. So, yeah, it was not a happy new year. It was not, at least for me. So, you know, it was actually sad. Me and my wife both were sick with COVID, so it was kind of a bummer. So, yeah. All right, pace car is off, and we are underway as Joe Howe gets a nice jump there over Culbertson and Shreves, as Ernie Williams Jr. making his move quickly all the way up to, and he's gone. Oh, it looks like he got into the wall there and had the glitch where he automatically ends up in the pits. Tough break for Ernie Williams Jr. there as he was on his way to the front, but back up front is Joe Howe in the 43 car as he is leading the way over Jared Culbertson, Randy Shreves, and Blake Andrews in that 4th and final transfer spot, as Greg Keppel looking to close the gap there on the 55 car. See if he can get that final transfer spot away from Andrews. And up front, we have a lead change as Culbertson has gotten the lead from Joe Howe. Howe looking to get it back as we have one lap to go here as Howe looks to the inside there, doesn't make the move, and then Culbertson pulls away as now Howe is going to have to hold off Shreves for that 2nd position, and it's going to be Culbertson getting the win here in heat race number 3, followed by Joe Howe, Randy Shreves, and Blake Andrews in that 4th and final transfer spot. All right, heat race number 4. Lining up here on the track is we have got Corey Jans on the pole. And outside of Jans is Jeremy Weigel. Then on the inside of row number 2, we've got Joshua Hart. And outside of Hart is Ted York. Then in row number 3, we've got Brandon Garmin. And outside of Garmin is Donald Toulos. Pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but that's okay. On the inside of row number 4, we've got Ryan Wagenschutz, and outside of Wagenschutz is Corey Austin, and in the 9th position is Glenn McTavish. So, heat race number 4 is on the track. 8 laps, top 4 go straight to the feature. All right, lights are off, pace car is in, and we are underway as Jans gets a nice jump there, grabbing the lead, moving up to the top quickly in front of Weigel as we got Hart, Garmin, and Toulos rounding out that top 5, but up front it is all Corey Jans as he's got himself a 5-car length lead over Jeremy Weigel in 2nd place. Jans all the way up in the marbles there, looking for the most amount of grip he possibly can, and it seems to be working as he is on a rail right now. Opening up that lead over Weigel to just over a half a second, and we are just a couple laps into this heat race, and it is all Corey Jans. Hart now up into the 3rd position as Garmin looks to the inside of him to make a move, throws the slide job, and he slides up. Nice save there from Hart as he gets sideways and not hit the back of the number 18 car coming out of turn 2, and that opened up the door for Toulos to now grab that 4th spot. Oh, and Hart now looks to the inside as we've got ourselves a 3-car battle here for this 3rd place position. Garmin, Hart, and Toulos. Hart now looking through the bottom, but doesn't get it to work as that allows Toulos and Garmin to drive off in front of him. That bottom just doesn't look to be there yet. The top seems to be just a little too dominant. Crossing the line there, hitting the wall. That was a crazy finish, but back up front, it was all Corey Jans with the win, followed by Jeremy Weigel, Brandon Garmin, and Donald Toulos grabbing that 4th and final transfer spot. All right, so it looks like our consolation is gridding up here on the track. And if I'm remembering correctly, we had 4 heat races done. Top 4 from each, 16. Yeah, I don't know how many are going to the feature. I would say 4 for sure. Not sure how many. Not sure how many. Don't know if we've got 20 or 24 in the feature. That would probably have been valuable information for me to figure out beforehand. But even though I'm feeling better, I'm still not thinking quite straight, so forgive me. Anyways, only one consolation because we've got 20 cars out here on the track. And that is Andy Patton on the pole. Outside of him, Bruce Kling, and then it's Wagenschutz and Keppel, followed by Gray and Prey, Hart and Kitchen, Cooper and Whitner, Austin and Borey, Borowski and McTavish, Inman and Sharp, Williams Jr. and York, McCartney and Kohik in that 10th and final row. All right, 12 laps. We are underway as Patton jumps out to a quick lead over Klingen, Keppel, Wagenschutz, and Gray in that 5th position. As Klingen all over the backside of Patton, looking to make his move. And we have got a caution underway here. It looked like we had a little bit of contact there at the start of the race. Let's see if we can take a look here. Oh yeah, a couple of cars piling up there going into turn 3, and that led to one car flipping and the 91 there of Ernie Williams Jr. getting caught up in the aftermath. So tough break for Ernie Williams Jr. there. We'll have to see if he can work his way up through the field. All right, pace car is off, and we are back underway as Patton jumps out to a lead once again, but this time, oh, Klingen had a heck of a run. Patton slowed up there coming out of the corner. Klingen got into the back when both of them able to drive away, though. And Klingen now has opened up a big lead over Patton there in 2nd place. Not sure what happened to Patton there coming out of turn 2, but Klingen was able to take advantage of it and has now moved himself into a comfortable position here as we are under caution yet again. Looks like we got Corey Austin coming up here. Oh, and he just jumped the wheel. Looks like he ran out of room there coming out of turn 2, and that was a tough one. Somehow, magically, his car is still rolling, so that's good. All right, lights are up on the pace car once again, and we are back under green as Klingen gets a huge jump over Patton there in the second position, as Patton's got Derek Gray now fighting for that second place position, with Gray Keppel coming up close behind him. Patton got low, lost some momentum there, and that opened the door as both Gray and Keppel were able to get around him, as now Patton's got wagon shits coming up behind him, and we've got cars stacking up. Patton's fallen off quite a bit. Something has happened here, as it looks like we've got another caution here on the speedway. Oh, and it looks like we had a couple of cars get together there on that inside retaining wall. So tough break there for, looks like, Jeremy Prey in the 117 car. So that's what led to our caution, as we get them lined up once again here, set to go green. All right, so up front, we've got Bruce Klingen in that 21 car, followed by Derek Gray, Gray Keppel, Andy Patton, and Ryan Wagenschutz, your top five, as we are now under green once again. Klingen, good jump once again, as Gray and Keppel are right behind him. Meanwhile, now up to the fourth position is Mason Inman. Inman, who started in the back of the pack, has now moved up 9 positions to that fourth place spot, as we are under yellow once again. Oh, and it looks like we just had some cars stacking up there, and the 92, nowhere to go, gets into the back of the 32 there. So tough break for the 92 car, as that looks like it's going to end his night here at Volusia. All right, pace char is off once again, as we are under green, and Klingen jumps out to a nice sized lead over Gray, Keppel, Patton, Wagenschutz, and Inman. Inman, after that caution came out, had to give back a few of them spots, and now finds himself in the fifth position as he goes to the outside of Patton. They're 3 wide as Wagenschutz goes to the inside. Inman to the outside. Whitner now follows Inman up into that 5th position, with Ernie Williams Jr., who has come back up to that 6th position. Williams Jr., if you remember, he raced 1. He got wrecked here at the start of this race. He was wrecked, had to go all the way to the back, and has now made himself all the way up to that 6th spot. As Keppel, with a little bit of trouble, has now dropped back and lost the position to Inman. Inman on the move, as he now finds himself in that 3rd place position, tracking down 2nd place here. And sideways there, 3 and 4 able to save it, and it looks like he brought home the 5th place finish, as Bruce Klingen's going to get the win here in the Constellation, followed by Derek Gray, Eric Whitner, Greg Keppel, Mason Inman, Ernie Williams Jr., Ryan Wagenschutz, Michael Cooper, Glenn McTavish, and Tommy Kohick rounding out your top 10. So we've got a couple of minutes here before we're going to get ready for tonight's 40 lap A main event, and we will be back here in just a few minutes to bring that to you. All right, so it looks like these guys are taking the track here as we are getting ready for our 40 lap A main event. And I've got to tell you, I am so glad that SDK is working without a hitch tonight, man, because, man, I would be pretty upset if there was, you know, problems like stuff being stuck on the screen for no reason. Thanks a lot, SDK. Anyways, so tonight's starting lineup for our 40 lap A main event. We're going to have Shea Paulo on the pole with Tanner Miller to his outside. Then we've got Corey Jans in row number 2 with Jared Culberson. Then it's Justin Sherman and Zach James, followed by Jeremy Weigel and Joe Howe. Jake's on a tag and Brandon Garman in the 5th row with Connor Dudek and Brent Hagan. Then we've got Randy Shreves and Donald Tuyos, Derek Gray, Blake Andrews, Bruce Klingon, Greg Keppel, Eric Whitner, Ernie Williams Jr., Mason Inman, Michael Cooper, Ryan Wagenschutz, and Glenn McTavish. So, lights are off on the pace car as we are now underway. as Paulo jumps out to a quick lead. And we've got a caution on the speedway. And I can't really tell who was in it. All right, that's better. All right, pace car's off and we are back underway. Paulo opens up about a 5-car length lead over Tanner Miller in second, followed by Jared Culbertson and Zach James. James on the bottom trying to see if he can get something to work down low, because everybody else seems to be running that high side, but James looks like he's got it working a little bit there coming off of turn 2. And we've got another caution on the speedway. Or we don't. That's just wrong, apparently. All right, so we're underway still. This thing's working great tonight. That's okay. So, Paulo up front, opening up about a half a straightaway lead. Now there's a caution on the speedway. So our light just was psychic. That's what it was. And see what we had here. Looks like it was the 7 car of Mason Inman just got a little high there and clipped that wall. Able to save it though and drive off, so he'll be able to stay in the race, but it looks like he's going to lose quite a lot of track position there, as that's going to drop him to the back of the pack. So it's going to be Paulo, Miller, James, Culbertson, and Jans, your top 5, with Weigel, Howe, Dudek, Sherman, Sonatag, and Shreves rounding out your top 10. As we should be going green this next time by. We are underway now. Paulo gets a decent jump, but Miller and James were able to stay closer this time. As Paulo up on the top with Miller, James down low trying to get that bottom to work. And we've got another caution on the track. All right, so let's try this again as we've got Paulo leading us to the green flag. Paulo getting a little bit of a better jump this time over Miller and James. James now who goes up to the high side. Looks like he's abandoned his line down on the bottom there. Paulo up, literally hitting the wall with his right rear, and it doesn't seem to be slowing him down one bit as he is pulling away from Miller and James. Back in the pack, we've got Eric Wilker and Bruce Klingon both from the Constellation trying to make their way up through the field, and they've got a hornet's nest of cars in front of them. Back in 8th place now, right along here, we got Jake Sonatag. Sonatag looking to make his way up through the field. Sonatag, who started 10th, I believe, moved up a couple of spots in 8th, trying to track down Justin Sherman in that double lock car. And Sherman looking to do the same with Connor Dudek. Dudek in the 7 machine in 6th position. The 3 of them trying to see if they can reel in Jeremy Weigel in that 5th place position, but Weigel, who's now caught the back of Culbertson, and he looks to have that bottom working there in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 has kind of a slider line going here right through the middle of the slick that seems to be helping. Back up front, it is all Paulo, as Paulo now has opened up a 1-second lead over Tanner Miller, who's in that 2nd place position. Paulo, who was literally tearing the fence down with his right rear, has now moved to the middle of the track. And it's got that line working as he's now caught lapped car, Joe Howe, as he puts him now a lap down. Howe looks like his car is busted after that accident he had earlier in the race. Paulo lost a little bit of time there as Miller now starting to reel him in. Miller looking for a different line there as he's trying to do a couple of different things here. Has closed the gap a little bit on Paulo, but not much as Paulo now slowly pulls back away, and that's going to open the door for Janes. Miller got a little loose there. Janes able to take advantage of as he now makes the move for second place, and he closes in on the backside of Paulo. So Zach Janes coming on strong here. As we're about halfway through this race, we still got a long ways to go here at Volusia. Zach Janes has now caught Shea Paulo here for the lead and is looking to get around him, and he does. Janes on the top side, bouncing off the wall, gets around Shea Paulo for the lead. Paulo looks to the inside, not able to get back around him as Janes now powers around him on the outside. Paulo now hops up to the top side, gonna try to run the same line that Janes is, see if he can get that to work for him. Paulo had that line working really well at the beginning of the race. Moved to that middle line, and James was able to get around him, and now Paulo up high, trying to track down Zach James in the number 7 car. Behind the leaders, we've got a battle here for this third place position as we've got Culbertson, Weigel, Miller all battling out as Justin Sherman now looks to the high side, and we've got a caution on the track. Oh, and it looks like somebody got into the wall there right in front of Bruce Klingen in the 21 car and gathered him up. So tough break for Klingen there. All right, so as we've got 22 laps in the books, your leader, Zach James, followed by Shea Paulo, Tanner Miller, Jared Culbertson, Jeremy Weigel, Justin Sherman, Connor Dudek, Jake Sonntag, Brody Brown, and Brent Hagan in that 10th position. Then we've got Donald Toulos, Greg Keppel, Glenn McTavish, Ryan Wagenschutz, Blake Andrews, Bruce Klingen, and Randy Shreves, who looks to no longer be on the track. So we are back underway as James jumps out to a quick lead, but gets up into that upper guardrail. That's going to slow him down a little bit and allow Paulo to close in on him. But James pulls back away on the exit of turn 4 there. James running a little bit of a different line there as he's sliding up to that cushion in 1 and 2, doing the same thing in 3 and 4. So he's running that high side, using just a little bit of a short slider to do so, and it seems to be working for him. As right now, he's got that thing dialed. Oh, and he bobbles, and there he goes. Zach James on the backstretch. Your leader gets just a little too high and launches it into orbit, as he is now out of the race. Tough break for James as he had an awesome run going here in night number 1 of the Bragging Rights Series. So up front, it is now Shea Paulo as Tanner Miller. He gets into the wall there, and that's going to collect him. Oh, and he comes down and gets into Culbertson, and that's going to, looks like, cause a little bit of chaos here as we have now got a caution on the speedway. Man, tough break there. Poor Miller, just a little tap of the wall, and he comes down ever so slightly and gets in there to the 23 car of Culbertson. Culbertson looked to the inside trying to get around him and just got into his right rear tire and sent him spinning. Tough break for Miller, as Miller had been running on that podium all night long. Thank you, whatever that was, it just popped up on my screen. Pace car is off, and we are back underway as Paulo now goes to the bottom and gets a huge run off the corner, pulling away from Culbertson and Weigel, who has now moved himself up into that 3rd position. Oh no! Justin Sherman gets into the wall there, comes down in front of the cars, and few of them get into the wall. Looks like Blake Andrews and Greg Keppel on the losing end of that. Tough break for them as Sherman got just a little high, clipped that wall, came back down the track, and those guys had nowhere to go. So with 11 laps remaining, please pay no attention to this thing up in the top left that says 4 of 40, because that is way wrong. With 11 laps remaining, it is Shea Paulo, Jared Culbertson, Jeremy Weigel, Brody Brown, and Connor Dudek rounding out your top 5 here in this 40-lap A main event in week number 1 of the Bragging Rights Series in the National Auto Racing Club. So we'll see if Culbertson and Weigel will have anything for Paulo. Paulo's been up front all night long, minus the few laps that Zach Janes had the lead there, but Janes seemed to be about the only person who could really stay with Paulo in terms of speed, or actually be faster than him. Other than that, it's been all Paulo up front so far this race. All right, pace car is off once again, and we are underway as Paulo jumps out to a nice size lead there over Culbertson in second place as they all go to the bottom now. Paulo, Culbertson, Weigel, Brown, and Dudek all running some form of a line around either the bottom or the middle of the track. Dudek, the one car looking up high, at least in 1 and 2, trying to make a move as Weigel now looking to take second place from Culbertson, and he does there. Coming down, Weigel right through the middle of the track has got that car working as he now looks to close in on Paulo in that number 1 position. Weigel been working that bottom of the track all night long, and now it seems to be paying off. Will he have enough laps, though, to catch Paulo in that 3 car? Paulo's got a half a second lead now over Weigel in that second place position as Weigel closes in, coming off a 2 as Paulo then widens it back out. Weigel looks a little bit faster through the middle of the corner where Paulo seems to have just a little bit of a better drive on the exit, so it's going to be interesting to see if Weigel can catch him. Paulo now slides up to the top of the track, Weigel down low. Paulo changing his line, trying to see if he can find something to pull away, and he gets into the wall, opening the door. Weigel now looks down low, takes the lead from Paulo. Paulo back up on the cushion. Weigel down low. Weigel now in the lead. 3 car lengths over Shea Paulo in the number 2 position. Jeremy Weigel now leading this race as he has got just a handful of laps to go to get the win here in round number 1 of the Bragging Rights Series. Weigel on the bottom has got it working. Paulo looking to close in on that 20 car, but just can't seem to do it right now, as Weigel's got that thing hooked up down low. Weigel on the bottom, Paulo on top, gets a good run off of turn 2. Can he get around him here in 3 and 4? Paulo up on the wall as Jeremy Weigel takes the win here at Volusia in night number 1 of the Bragging Rights Series. Awesome run for Jeremy Weigel to get the win, moving up 7 spots to claim that victory. So, our official results, or I should say unofficial results, is Jeremy Weigel gets the win, followed by Shea Paulo, Jared Culbertson rounding out the podium, with Brent Hagan coming in the 4th position and Connor Dudek rounding out your top 5. Then we've got Brody Brown, Donald Toulis, Ryan Wagenschutz, Glenn McTavish, and Bruce Klingen rounding out the top 10. In 11th, we've got Greg Keppel. Then it's Blake Andrews, Justin Sherman, Jake Sonntag, Tanner Miller, Zach Janes, Randy Shreves, Derek Gray, Eric Whitner, Joe Howe, and then wrapping up the rest of the field, we've got Michael Cooper in 21st, Brandon Garman in 22nd, Corey Jans, Mason Inman, and Ernie Williams Jr. All right, so let's see if we can talk to tonight's winner here in round number 1 of the Bragging Rights Series at Volusia. Jeremy Weigel, tonight's winner. Jeremy, awesome run, man. How did you figure out to get that line around the bottom working, and what were you thinking there trying to close in on Shea Paulo the last few laps?
I appreciate it, Tommy. Honestly, I love this track. I'm fast here. I like the different lines you can run, the different banking. But I kind of set my car up for middle bottom here. Um, through the middle part of the race, it was just bottom, and I kind of the all everybody was down there. Um, so it was really hard to make passes. But once the marbles started kicking up towards that second line, it's kind of a line that the most of the guys know me for. That my own line kind of right through the middle of the slick. But there's marbles and there's grip. So for me, it's just about keeping up momentum. Um, but yeah, I honestly I couldn't believe I don't know if Shea had some damage or if maybe he missed it on the setup a little bit, but I couldn't believe that I caught him. I mean, he's such a fantastic driver. There's a reason why he's been a pro multiple times. Um, but yeah, just I had my game plan, I stuck to it, and it actually worked in my favor for once.
Well, it was an awesome job, man. You definitely did a great job of running that line, doing it consistently and smoothly. I know it is no easy feat to go right through the middle of the slick like that in a 410 sprint car. So awesome job on that. Before we let you go, do you have any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
Of course, I got to thank School of Sim Racing. It's a great community. I love being a part of this team. The team is amazing. I mean, everything I do basically is a result of somebody helping me, and that includes Shay Paulo. He helped me a lot when I started, but I got to thank Personal Evolution Company, ESRN, um, Dudek Sim Designs came on board with School of Sim Racing here for 2023. So big shout out to them. Go check him out. Um, and of course, Tommy, I appreciate you and everything you've done to help me and to continue to help this community. It's just a great place to be.
All right, on man. Well, thank you very much, and awesome run tonight. So, Jeremy, see you next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Tommy.
All right, that was your winner, Jeremy Weigel, as we are now joined in the booth by the man who got second place, Shea Paulo. Shea, awesome run for you, man. You started off, you were definitely the fastest one out there on the track. I gotta admit, man. After I saw Zach, send it to outer space there on the backstretch, I thought it was your race to lose. What were you trying to do there towards the end, man? And what was going on?
All right, right when he passed me there, I banged the right rear off the wall a couple times on the same lap, but the car felt fine. When he got by me, though, I thought the same thing as you. I was like, well, I'll just kind of cruise around behind him for the next 13, 14, how many laps or I don't even know. And then he jumped the wall and he blinked away, and I was like, oh, it's probably just a netcode thing. And then he was gone. So I was like, oh, well, okay. Um, and then towards the end, I finished the race with zero point 0.4 gallons left. So I had no intentions of ever going to the bottom, but I had to for 7 or 8 laps there, unfortunately. And then I've kind of adopted this minimalist kind of way of doing this now. My mirror is super small. There's nothing on my screen. And after I was done saving fuel, I go to move back to the top, and Jeremy flies by me. I was like, "Where did he come from?" Yeah, I mean, hell of a race by him. That was a great drive through the middle. I went back and watched him the last few laps there, and he was just snug right along the bottom and middle there. So yeah, he got by me, and then I just full throttled the last lap and couldn't make it up on the top. And I looked at the fuel at the end there, and thankfully, I guess I saved just enough to at least pull it home in second.
Yeah, well, it was an awesome run overall, man, to bring home second place. And yeah, it was a nice drive by you. Before I let you go, do you got any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks to all you guys doing this and broadcasting and all the guys that put the league on all the time. I know I don't get to come out very much, but I got COVID, so I'm homesick for the week.
I feel
And
you. I've been that way this last few days.
figured I might as well get on before my subscription runs out in 2 days and give her one last whirl. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for putting it on. Thanks for all the guys racing. Really good race up front there, and hell of a drive by Jeremy there. Congrats to him, and look forward to watching the rest of them from the sidelines.
All right, sounds good. Shea Paulo, your second place finisher here in tonight's race. Shea, awesome run, man, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, so wrapping up tonight's podium in the third position, we've got Jared Culberson. Jared, awesome run tonight, man. You were hanging in that top three the whole night. What was your game plan coming into this 40 lapper, and what were you trying to do there those last few laps as the track got really, really slick there?
Yeah, the last few laps there, I actually had moved the wing back a little bit. It made the car way too tight. I kept having to move it up lap after lap, and it got better, but just try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, well, that's always the main thing you want to do, especially in these 40 lap races. It's just stay out of trouble. Now, were you going in with the plan to run the top or the bottom, or are you just trying to run wherever the car felt good tonight?
Yeah, I went in planning on the bottom most of the race.
Well, you did a good job, man, bringing home a third place finish, able to stick up there pretty much the whole night. You ran up front, so good job there. And before I let you go, do you got any friends, family, or sponsors you want to thank?
No, I'd like to thank you guys for putting on a good series.
All right, well, thanks for coming out, my man, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, everybody, Jared Culbertson, your third place finisher for tonight. So that's going to do it for tonight's ESRN broadcast of the National Auto Racing Club Bragging Rights Series. My name is Thomas Brennan. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week to do it all over again, as the Bragging Rights Series is going to be heading to USA Speedway. That's right, Lakeland, the big 3/4 mile dirt track, as we'll be running those big sluggish mud turtles that people call the big block modifieds. I'm just joking, I really like them. But anyways, we'll be back next week with the big block modifieds at USA to do it all over again. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. This has been an ESRN presentation. My name is Thomas Brandon, and until next time, take care.